So, ladies and gentlemen, I am worried for Black Ops 5. We're going to be referring to it as Black Ops 5 today. I know that's 100% not what it's going to be called. There's tons of leaks right now. It might be called COD Vietnam, Black Ops Vietnam. It might be Black Ops Reboot. Probably not, though. The leaks are pointing at something completely new, which I'm fine with. The title is just a title. Whatever. I'm just going to be referring to it as Black Ops 5 because it's the easiest way to do it. So, as I say I'm worried, that does not mean I'm not excited. My excitement for this game is through the roof, as it is for just about every Call of Duty. I've been on the hype train for every new Call of Duty since Black Ops 1. I've been playing since 2006, right, for COD 3, back when I was like 6 years old. But obviously, I didn't start getting into the yearly release cycle until about Black Ops 1. That's when I started getting the game's launch day rather than buying them on Christmas or my parents getting it for me or whatever. But now it's like, ever since then, I've been there watching the reveal trailers, getting hyped with everyone online until the map or the game itself releases, and then same for all the DLC throughout. Even if the game didn't look that great, even if the game was Call of Duty Ghosts or Infinite Warfare, a game that not a lot of people were excited for, I was still there being excited and looking forward to it. Now, some of these games I've been disappointed with, but I'm not just going to lose the excitement just because I know I've been disappointed in the past. But based on the information we've heard about this game, yes, I am worried for Black Ops 5. I am very, very worried because leaks are saying right now, coming from the Gaming Revolution and DK Dynamite, they've made videos on this and their leaks are very credible, so I'll take them with a grain of salt, but also probably a handful of salt actually, now that I'm thinking about it, because they're usually right on most things, let's be real here, especially when it's from their reliable sources. Now, they're saying that Activision right now is thinking about possibly making this game Sledgehammer, right? They're going to call it Sledgehammer Games COD title instead of it being Treyarch's, and they'll just say that Treyarch and Raven are support studios. But we all know that Treyarch probably did the majority of the work on this game because Sledgehammer and Raven aren't even big studios right now, right? But they have a feeling that this game is going to fail, and they don't want Treyarch to take the blame for it. That's what worries me. If they have a feeling that their own game is going to fail, like, I'm okay with them saying, oh, we don't think our game's going to get that many sales. That's to be expected when you have a COD title that's a completely brand new title, if that's the direction they're going. So back to that investors call back in May, or back in February actually, when they said they don't believe this next COD title is going to do as well as Modern Warfare in terms of sales, I was okay with that. I'm like, oh, maybe it's going to be a completely new title. Maybe it's not going to be Black Ops because they don't have faith and hope that it's going to sell that much, right? But them saying, not saying it out loud, but us hearing behind the scenes that they aren't even confident in their own game's success long term, not just for money, but also just for the community's enjoyment. That worries me. I'm not really worried about Treyarch and how they handle it because honestly, I think Treyarch can kill it. I think they have before. I've always been loving all of Treyarch games ever since World at War up until Black Ops 4, even though World at War I consider to be one of my least favorite. I've still loved them, especially when they were in their prime. And I've never been disappointed on that high of a level from a Treyarch game. Yes, I've been disappointed with certain features, maybe like the campaign in Black Ops 3, or some of the small features in BO4 Zombies, but as a whole, I've still enjoyed each and every one of their titles, and I've not been disappointed enough to the point where I was like pissed. Black Ops 4 disappointment was only there because our expectations were so high. I mean, the marketing in that game was fantastic. So you kind of expect to be disappointed when your expectations are that damn high. It's just kind of how it works. But I don't let my disappointment or expectations get in the way of how I truly feel about the game. So that's why I don't judge it on that, you know what I mean? But when it comes to COD 2020 or Black Ops 5, there's a lot of behind-the-scenes development things that are going on that sound really, really fishy. Like the fact that the game is likely going to be rushed because of the fact that they had less time to work on it. Treyarch didn't get their full 3 years. They only got about like a year and like 9 months or so, which is not the full amount of time that they usually get for these games. Now, of course, Sledgehammer and Raven definitely did work on the game before that. They likely made a lot of maps, guns, assets that they're going to be using that Treyarch will take over and rebuild something out of it, right? But that's not enough. Usually within that 1 year or 1.5 years, they do more than that, right? So I really do think that they're going to need more time to polish this game. And I have no doubt in my mind that this game will at least be decent. You know why? Because it's Treyarch. That's literally the only reason why I know it's going to be successful for me personally. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to have fun, especially if it has a good zombies mode and it's got Vietnam. I mean, how can I not at least like it a little bit? I'm worried about the community and how they receive it, because we've gotten to a point in COD where if we're not getting weekly updates, if we're not getting like 15 plus maps on launch and multiplayer, if we're not getting the best possible zombies experiences without no glitches, without any bugs, if we're not getting as many guns as Modern Warfare 3 had, if we're not getting all this content at launch, if we're not having, leaderboards not coming out till like a month or two later, people are going to be pissed. The standards for COD are so high because we've had so many COD titles. We've had like 15 plus COD games. The standards are really high. That's why I do think this yearly release thing, as much as I'm okay with it, also it is kind of going to ruin the ability for this game to succeed long term, because people will just keep comparing them to past games. It's hard to have these new games beloved by the fans because everyone's like, oh, it's not as good as Modern Warfare 2 or Black Ops 1 or Black Ops 2, so it's not that good. That's why I always say we should be looking at these games as new things rather than trying to compare them to old games. While comparing them in sort of a ranking fashion is fine and all, but comparing them, trying to claim negatives off of a game because, oh, this past game that came out 10 years ago did this or this game did that, I think is a little ridiculous in my opinion. But there is a silver lining to this. I do think this game can still succeed. Of course, we got the, whole pandemic happening right now, which does kind of hold them back a little bit. But of course, I do think the game will be delayed about a month or two, so I don't think it's going to come out till like December. I do think they're still working at home, and they probably will be able to go back to work soon, so they'll be, working as hard as they can. I do think that also in terms of post-launch, they will kill it, but I don't know, man. I don't know, because then you also got to realize they're probably working on another game in 2022, which is going to completely throw off that. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I just wanted to throw this out there, let you guys know how I'm feeling right now, because I've been very excited for this game because I've been thinking of all the good things, but then I start realizing, wow, they're not going to have nearly as much time as I feel like they should. But I do feel like gameplay is more important than anything, so as long as they can nail the gameplay, it could be alright, and this game could end up being the best COD for all we know, or it could end up being the worst COD. We don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. The reveals should be soon, within the next month or two, so when we get it, of course, I'll be covering it. I'll be recording reactions, opinion videos, all that good stuff, and you'll all be here to see it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.